and this is when we'll get into the Roman Reigns versus Kenny Omega thing, right? Roman he is a believable champion. Yes. He is a believable badass. There's nothing about kid-like, I guess you would say, about him. He's not a character. He's not goofy. He's not this, John Cena Superman type. He is a head of the table, tribal chief, badass that beats your ass and nobody can beat right now, right? Sure. And so many people respect that serious, believable badass. And you have it in this kitty zombie product, and it makes no damn sense to me. Like, people want more for this company because they're loving what Roman is. And to me right now, the WWE is Roman Reigns and nothing else. Like, the only thing that is worth tuning into right now is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns during his if Roman Reigns is having a pay-per-view match, that's the match that you want to see.
Yep.
So in that aspect, like, and not only that, there's nobody that wants to see Roman lose the title. Right. Like, nobody's dying of, like, please, Roman, lose this title. I'm so sick of this title reign and all this stuff. That's not happening. Like, people are 100% invested into Roman right now.
Yep.
And I just feel, and this is the thing too, like, I don't know about other people, but like, I tried to rewatch the show on Peacock and I literally couldn't fast forward through the show to get to the main event. So I had to sit there and watch that garbage to get to the main event. And it's just night and day what they're doing on SmackDown, what they're doing with Roman and everything else. And it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me that, like, you could be totally on one character, one wrestler who you've been completely off on for years, and you finally figure it out, but yet the entire product around it is straight trash.
Yeah, it's unreal. And I still think it's wild that Roman is on SmackDown and not Raw. Like, I get the Fox deal and I get, like, but Raw's been their flagship show for, like, what, 25 years, something like that at this point. And, like, and I've said this a lot. If Roman was on Raw, I would have enough of a reason to tune into the show because I am that interested in what he's doing. But I'm not interested in tuning in on Friday nights for SmackDown. I have other stuff to do. I have other things I can watch. There are other options for me on Fridays outside of pro wrestling. And even if it is pro wrestling related, it's going to be the stuff I'm more invested in, which is going to be independentwrestling.tv stuff, which, or going to live shows again on Friday nights and stuff like that. So it's like, which is what I was supposed to do this past Friday, and I got super sick, which sucked. But, like, I'm getting excited that I can get back to doing that kind of stuff. The point is, I'm not going to be watching wrestling on Friday nights if it's the WWE. So, So if they did some of that stuff on Mondays, I'd be happy with, tuning in to see that stuff. But it is very strange that it's all one company, but it's two writing teams with two rosters that are, like, the shows are so. I can't speak to SmackDown because I don't watch it. But what I've seen of SmackDown, and when I watch the pay-per-views, it seems like the stuff on the SmackDown side is significantly better. The storylines seem better. The talent I seem more interested in than anything that I'm seeing on the Raw side. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully what they do is they do another one of those superstar shakeups or whatever, and they, like, start moving people around. Because if they can get Roman onto Raw and a couple other things about what they're doing on SmackDown, I'll give Raw a shot again. But, like, if it's currently what we're getting right now, I have no interest in tuning in until they make, like, some significant changes.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I understand. And I don't know, man. I guess SmackDown is the number one priority now because of Fox. Because by now they would have changed it. There's no way that they would just let Raw die like this and have SmackDown dominate the ratings. They would have changed it a long time ago, and I guess that they're okay with what's going on. So I'm just curious how that, like I said, with the fans, how that will go. I mean, to me, the only way that you can get something that I think is really interesting, that could have a really good story, and I don't know how possible it is, but I think Cena and Roman Reigns, like a SummerSlam or something like that, I think would be extremely interesting because it's just like the roles have reversed. The story would be there. Roman has been amazing on the mic, and I'll be honest, like the best promos from Roman lately have been the ones on Twitter while he's on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And I promise you, nobody's writing those. It's just him talking. It's just him talking because he really believes on what is going like in his character and what's happening right now. And you can just see the confidence in him. And I just think it's night and day difference from what he used to be. I feel like that he was kind of playing a character. And so I guess we go with Kenny Omega now. And to me, Kenny doesn't come across as genuine. He doesn't come across as someone that is authentic, that is someone that is really like a badass. And I feel like Kenny lately has been resting on his laurels for what he has previously done and not what he is currently doing. I think that he's had some good matches, don't get me wrong, but that is not the best bout machine that's going on right now. Like that guy is a guy that is just playing the overconfident, cocky heel with his buddies and occasionally will have a good match. And to me, he needs to be bigger than that. And I personally think he needs less time on the mic and Don Callis should have more time on the mic and Kenny needs to be more focused on delivering in the ring. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have a problem with what Kenny's doing at all because I think it's really just a lot of it's obviously character based, like just trying to get himself more and more over as that type of character. And I really don't want to see him wrestling that often. Like if he's going to be the best bout machine or whatever, I want to see him wrestling like once a month, like defend the title once a month. Maybe every now and then you have a tune-up match that isn't close, like not like the Matt Sydal thing where that was like a close back and forth. Like if you're going to wrestle, it's non-title and it's against like someone from AW Dark or something, you go in there, you hit your signature move, your finisher, whatever, like just a little showcase to preview the champion going into the pay-per-view type of thing. Like I'd be fine with that. I still think we're really early on though in this whole thing. Like the one thing that I'm really interested in though now is, Moose is the number one contender on Impact now. And I thought that they would save that for like months down the road and Moose would eventually be the one to get that belt back. But like, I don't think they're going to do it so fast, but now I'm kind of questioning how long Kenny's going to be the champion because I think they're going to do Moose, and then I think they'll do Eddie Edwards for Slammiversary is how I feel like they're going to wind up doing it. But but then you got Kenny going over to AAA and wrestling Andrade. Like, I I think just for the sake of, who do I think is better Orton, Kenny or Roman? I think overall it's still Kenny Omega. Like, but I think that if you're talking strictly WWE, you have Roman way up here, and the next closest person is like way down here. We're talking like, and the same thing you said about Cena and Roman that you want to see. I'd be down for that too because, they tried that years ago and it was kind of not what it could have been because they were both baby faces and they were trying to get Roman over. And another one I want to see really badly with the roles reversed is a baby face Brock and a heel Roman, and Roman beats him just clean. Because we still haven't really seen that, right? Like it was always Roman. Well,
then they could do the whole like Paul Heyman betrayed Brock and went with the younger up and coming talent and left Brock. Like they could do some cool stuff with that.
Or you could do like a 2-man power trip thing where Heyman's with both of them, and they're one's on one show, one's on the other, but on like the pay-per-views they're together or something. Like that would be so sick.
There would be absolutely nobody could beat them at all. But I would say this though, like I feel like with like each guy has their strengths and weaknesses, right? Like to me, I feel like Roman is way more believable. He's a way more believable badass, but he's not the performer that Kenny Omega is. And Roman does have to have a somewhat of a good dance partner to have a great match. Kenny Omega really doesn't.
Right.
And also Kenny's just doing a lot. He's doing a lot with the Impact thing and with AEW and now AAA, and he's got all the belts and
also EVP for AEW, like another job on top of that all.
Right, which apparently they're not on speaking terms.
I don't believe that.
That's why the Bucks posted that on their bio.
Yeah,
you see that? Not on speaking terms.
They're trolling. Wrestling fans are so weird. You people who just can't, live for just the drama in this stuff. Like, I don't believe for a second. And if there is any issues, it's probably the same issues you have with anyone that you work with. You don't always see eye to eye. There might be, but I doubt it's anything like what the internet's trying to make it out to be. And they're just going to continue to play. They're going to continue to play it up too. Like they'll make you what they will do to these marks. Well, I'll call you marks. What they're going to do is they're going to continue to plant seeds so you keep thinking it's worse than it is. And you're going to keep talking about how bad it is and how it's getting worse. And they're just going to keep feeding the trolls. That's how the internet works. That's how successful people get you, by the way, is when you're so invested in their life that you can't stop thinking about it and tweeting about it. And it just consumes you to a point where it's like you're losing your mind over it. And then they just keep giving you what you want. Even if it isn't the truth, it's like, okay, here's a little bit more. And you just don't shut up, and you keep going. So that's how I feel about these people with AEW. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, like Jake Paul got an F Jake Paul chant. And he's not even in the building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the most over guy in the company.
It is what I'm saying. So it's like it's wild. But I understand the argument, and I kind of agree with you too. Like, we're midway through the year. Let's see how this thing finishes out before we determine who had the better year, who's having the better title reign, all that stuff. But I do think that what I do love, though, right now is a lot of times when you're talking about Wrestler of the Year, it doesn't always mean champion. And I feel like the candidates for the three Wrestlers of the Year right now is three champions. It is Kenny Omega, is Roman Reigns, is Will Ospreay. And I feel like that those three are going to be the ones that are going to battle out for Wrestler of the Year for this year. So, and honestly, you couldn't ask for three better guys. Like, and I feel like there's some people too that are so attached to what Roman used to be that they can't accept the fact that Roman has kind of turned a corner and he is really good.
Right.
Like, I feel like people are so stuck in hating him. It's a lot like the John Cena thing, right? Yep. It's like Cena sucks, and then it's like, yeah, but he just kind of had like a really good match, and then he just had another really good match, and he just had another really good match, and he just had another cool moment, he just had another cool feud, and it's kind of like, oh, okay, maybe he doesn't suck. And I feel like Roman's kind of getting that right now as well. So, I like I said, I'm really enjoying his heel reign. I just get the hell out of the Thunderdome at this point. It's just something that's gotten so stale, and it's just been too long. And it's like that for everywhere, right? Enough is enough. But saying that, I've got AEW Dynamite tickets to Austin. I've got AEW Dynamite tickets to Dallas. I've got AEW Dynamite tickets to Houston. So I will be going to all three shows. I've got second or third row. I can't remember, second or third row for Austin, and I've got second or third row for Dallas. Like, I mix them up, but it should be a good time. And you know what's funny too is people are all like, well, why are you going to the other shows? It's just going. They're coming to Houston in August, and it's like, dude, this isn't Raw. Okay, this isn't SmackDown. Each Dynamite is different. Each one is special, and you don't know what you could get. I mean, last week's Dynamite, you got an amazing match between the Young Bucks and SCU, and you got another pay-per-view quality match with Darby and Miro. And, like, why wouldn't you want to have those type of moments and matches every single time you can go live? It's kind of like what Raw used to be, or what SmackDown used to be. Like, it is must see, and you do need to go each time they're in town. And if you can go multiple times they're in your state, then you do it, because they leave you memorable stuff. I've never been to a bad Dynamite. I've been to 2 of them, but I've never been to a bad one. So I'm looking forward to going to the 3 Dynamites, and it's just cool that, like, we're able to do this again.